Newsource. Athens Clarke County Police are investigating a cybersecurity scam, resulting in losses of up to $100,000. We will discuss what you can do to prevent this type of fraud. This weekend, the Athens Rodeo, hosted by Block and Bridle, is returning. Learn about the cause behind their event. And later,
this week is Georgia Agricultural Awareness Week, but agriculture just isn't about the big farms. Coming up, I'll have a look at how you can get involved right from your own backyard.
All this and more, live at 5.
This is Northeast Georgia's only local source for TV news. From the Grady College of the University of Georgia, this is Grady Newsource.
Good evening and welcome to Grady Newsource. I'm Destiny Johnson. We begin tonight with an update on the Canton High School student that fell from the fourth floor of a downtown parking deck. Here's Grady Newsource reporter Allie Piegler with the latest.
On March 19th, an 18-year-old Canton, Georgia resident sustained injuries from a fall from the fourth level of the West Washington Street parking deck. UGA student Jake Wheeler arrived at his place of employment, Bar South, to begin cleaning up when he noticed officers traveling in the direction of the incident.
And I see two bike cops turning left onto Washington coming from Lumpkin, and they stop at this parking deck right by where Fuzzy's used to be, and I just thought somebody was getting arrested for being drunk. And then a cop car showed up, 2 ambulances, and within 30 minutes we realized something was really bad. And then about 30 more minutes, we found out he had fallen from the building and that he was unconscious but breathing, and that's the last we heard about it.
A witness saw the 18-year-old fall and land against the railing of the stairs, according to a report from the Athens Clarke County Police Department. I'm here in front of the West Washington Street parking deck where the incident occurred in the early hours of Sunday morning. The ACC Police Department is not taking interviews on the subject at this time. I'm Allie Piegler, Grady Newsource.
Liza Burke, the University of Georgia student who experienced a brain hemorrhage in Cabo San Lucas on spring break, is showing signs of improvement. According to an update on the GoFundMe, Burke can squeeze her mom's hand, move her limbs slightly, and nod her head in response to questions. The GoFundMe originally had a goal of reaching $40,000. As of today, they've raised over $142,000. In the comment section of the GoFundMe, 98 people have shared words of support, including stories of their own experiences with brain hemorrhages. An Athens resident was scammed out of over $100,000 over the course of 3 years due to fraudulent security companies. Grady Newsource reporter Cooper Camp spoke with Athens Clarke County Police about how you can protect yourself and others from scammers such as these.
One in 7 Georgians received SNAP benefits last year, according to the
They oftentimes target elderly people because they think they won't know better.
A 75-year-old Athens resident was a victim of a cybersecurity scam. Over the past 3 years, he sent over $100,000 to various fraudulent organizations. Lieutenant Sean Barnett of the Athens Clarke County Police spoke with me about this case, as well as walked me through some warning signs to know if you're being scammed.
This individual was contacted by via email saying that his computer had been hacked and he needed to purchase software and things like that. Over the course of those 3 years, sent large amounts of money to what he later learned to be were fake companies. So one red flag that jumps out immediately in a lot of these kind of incident reports that we take are no legitimate business or government agency or anything is going to ask for payment in the form of gift cards or Bitcoin or anything like that.
Along with senior citizens, college students are among the most vulnerable. UGA student Ethan Schmidt felt the effects of cybersecurity scams firsthand.
So last semester, my old computer crashed a few times, so I had to get a new one. One day I got an email from a UGA email address saying that my Microsoft account needed to be re-upped or anything, and so I put some information in there, and it turns out that I actually got hacked. I checked my card to see what I got in my new paycheck, and I saw over $1,300 worth of fraud. So luckily I'm a little bit of a success story. I got my money back. So.
Not everyone is going to be as lucky as Ethan was. The best ways to protect yourself from scams like these are to make sure that the businesses you're receiving emails from are legitimate, and if you're doing business with them or not through your financial records. For Grady Newsource, I'm Cooper Camp.
Neighborhood leaders are helping Athens residents register for supplemental nutritional assistance program benefits. Grady Newsource reporter Maddie McCaffrey has some more on the story.
1 in 7 Georgians received SNAP benefits last year, according to the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities. Many residents of Athens-Clarke County are among that number.
Huge need. And it's not just the unhoused population. Like, there are people who work full-time jobs that make just at the income requirement.
With the growing need for SNAP benefits here in Athens, Family Connection Communities and Schools is here every Wednesday at the Athens-Clarke County Library to enroll residents in SNAP benefits or re-enroll them.
I think since everybody knows where the big library is on Baxter Street, it's very accessible, especially to people who don't have cars.
Last May, the pandemic emergency allotments for SNAP benefits in Georgia ended, resulting in less funds for recipients.
A large number of senior citizens on SNAP benefits that are on a fixed income, they get less than $50.
Literally, they were getting over $300 a month last year, and now some residents are getting $25 a month, $80 a month. I think Celia said $9 a month was a resident.
Neighborhood leaders in Athens will continue to help residents register for different programs like SNAP, WIC, and Medicaid. For Grady Newsource, I'm Maddie McCaffrey.
Food insecurity is a pressing topic in Athens-Clarke County. Grady Newsource reporter Hannah Nielsen learned more about a local organization trying to help alleviate the issue.
Fresh fruits and vegetables are important factors of a healthy diet and lifestyle, but some people aren't able to access these resources. According to Feeding America, 1 in 6 residents of Athens-Clarke County are considered food insecure, and 35% of those people do not qualify for nutrition assistance. One local organization wants to bridge that gap. Farm RX, or the Food as Medicine Prescription Program, provides access to free and fresh fruits and vegetables to low-income families of Athens-Clarke County. The program is run through the Athens Farmers Market, which provides the local produce. During the 6-month program, participants take part in cooking and nutrition classes and receive free health checkups. Monica Bledsoe, the coordinator of Farm RX, says that participants are chosen through an application process.
We have a survey that asks all of the eligibility questions and a little bit of more information about who the interested applicant is. And then I myself, along with my team, will go through all the applications and review and work through contacting each person, making sure that they understand all of the requirements of the program.
Participants are able to purchase their produce at one of 2 markets: the Saturday market, which is held here at Bishop Park, and the Wednesday market, which is held at Creature Comforts in downtown Athens. When the participants arrive, they receive an allotment of tokens. Now, each token is worth $1, and the total tokens equals their amount of money that they are able to spend. Then the participants are able to spend those tokens on fresh produce for themselves and their family. Farm RX receives its funding through Wholesome Wave Georgia, an organization that partners with local organizations to provide fresh produce to low-income families. The organization also works in partnership with the University of Georgia SNAP Ed program. According to Dr. Jun Sun Lee, UGA has been a longtime supporter of Farm RX.
Here, UGA has been an active participant, especially under SNAP Ed. We have 2 PhD students actually directly and actively involved in the development of original model, and they actually conducted research studies evaluating the impact and the feasibility of the model we had.
In 2021, Farm RX reported an 85% completion rate of the program. Despite their best efforts, Bledsoe says life circumstances caused some to stop participating in the program. Through initiatives like free transportation, Bledsoe hopes to raise that number to 100%. Hannah Nelson, Grady Newsource.
So Hannah, how can someone who's interested in the Farm RX program get involved?
Well, Destiny, they have on their website, they have the application for the Farm RX program. So if you go to the Athens Clark County Farmers Market website, you can find the link to that application.
Okay, and what are some benefits to the program?
Well, I said in the story, they do get free produce, but they also do get free classes on things like cooking and nutrition, and they also get, other things. They get free checkups throughout the 6-month program, and for those who, may have trouble getting to the market, they do offer free transportation and some, if it's a struggle getting gas, they, give them gas cards so they can get to the market.
All right, is there anything else you want to add about the program?
No, but the 2023 application did just open, so if anyone is interested, like I said, you can go to the website and fill out the application.
All right, well, thank you for telling me about the Farm RX program.
You're welcome.
And besides, all right, so we can go to break.
In high school, I hung with the wrong crowd and I never graduated.
I helped Santiago in many different ways, like all fathers do, because he always wanted to go to college.
I felt a little embarrassed to come back to school, but eventually, once I came here, I knew that it's for a bigger goal.
He was very dedicated, hardworking. He connected with his teachers, he connected with other students. That was one of the key reasons why he was able to keep forging ahead.
It was amazing to see him graduate. This was one thing that meant so much to him, and of course, it meant so much to us too.
With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed. That support is everything.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
I think I finally found.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Hey, Mason.
Got a new house. It's looking pretty cool so far. A place that I call home.
I'm teaching Louise how to cook some lasagna.
It only takes a spark to make a fire start.
Thank you.
Study, please.
I think I finally found a place to make my own. A place that I call home. This place that I call home.
Attaining groceries as a college student can be difficult and pricey, leading many students to unhealthy alternatives such as fast food. Grady Newsource reporter Clay Britton tells us about the most recent University Union event that gave students the chance to walk home with free groceries and kitchen appliances.
University Union at the University of Georgia is a student organization whose mission is to create entertaining and diverse experiences to the student body. Last night, the organization hosted a night of bingo at the Tate Student Center from 8 to 10 p.m. Intrigued students showed up as early as 7:30 to get in line and test their luck at bingo for a chance to win free groceries and kitchen appliances. University Union offered groceries and kitchen appliances to promote good nutrition and encourage students to cook for themselves.
As college students, it's very hard for them to get out to get groceries. So we're just trying to put the emphasis on actually buying groceries instead of eating out so much, and trying to find ways of like how you can implement groceries into your diet, into your nutrition, and trying to like cook food organically.
Students lucky enough to be able to shout bingo were given the option of choosing a pre-wrapped basket full of various grocery items or take home a new kitchen appliance. The event also included guest speakers from Bulldog Basics, Fresh Express, and the University Health Center to talk about the services they offer to help students live a healthy life. For one student in attendance, nutrition is a part of everyday life. Chris Altman, who is currently finishing up his master's in mechanical engineering, practices meal prep every Sunday and has his own cooking show on his social media to help others prepare healthy meals for the week.
Meal prep every Sunday, have like good cooked meals. Don't eat out that much because it's not that good for you. I mean, you can get like fresh foods at home, and you just eat better.
With groceries in hand, students left bingo last night with a better understanding of living a healthy lifestyle. For Grady Newsource, I'm Clay Britton.
This week is Georgia Agriculture Awareness Week. Even if you don't have a farm, joining in on the celebration is as simple as going out into your backyard. Grady Newsource reporter Connor Hendricks has a look.
Ag is everywhere.
April Edwards with Jackson County 4-H says agriculture isn't what most people think.
Me growing up, what I visualized ag was a farmer in a pair of overalls. That's what agriculture to me was. But that's not what it is. If you eat, if you drive a car, if you put clothes on, agriculture is attached to all of that. We wouldn't have anything without agriculture.
To get involved with agriculture, all you need is your own backyard.
If you're able to put food on your own table that you just picked out of a garden, out of your container garden or in your backyard, that's really cool.
Colette Blackman joined U Garden, a student community garden in Athens during the pandemic. Blackman had never had a green thumb before, but felt she needed to get out more.
It's just so exciting and fulfilling. And then watching like the fruits of what you do turn into actual foods that actual people are going to eat and enjoy feels really good.
Blackman says she encourages people to come out to the garden to volunteer, even if they've never done it.
It's just fun. It's hard work, but it's rewarding. And I do it with really awesome people out there. Like, I love the community.
If you've never grown anything before but want to give it a shot, Edwards says you can call your county's extension agent. They'll be able to recommend plants, give advice, and more. In Jefferson, Connor Hendricks, Grady Newsource.
Now let's go to Olivia Wakeham live in the studio, where she'll bring us updates on the United Nations' newest climate change report.
The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, or IPCC, released its sixth climate change report on Monday. A team of scientists put this report together after evaluating thousands of studies about climate change published throughout the year. I spoke to Pam Knox, an agricultural climatologist at the University of Georgia, to learn more about what this report means.
We know the climate is changing. We know that humans are involved in a lot of that change, and that this is really a critical time for us to take action to keep the climate change within reasonable bounds. So it's really not all gloom and doom. We're doing some things right, and we're seeing some changes from that, but we have to do a lot more.
Knox recommended a few ways we can decrease our environmental impact, like changing how we eat so we throw away less food. According to a study by the Environmental Protection Agency, food waste makes up 8% of human-caused global greenhouse gas emissions. Knox recommends planning weekly menus more carefully to avoid food waste.
If people are a little bit more conscious about that, then that is something that's going to help in the long run, because we're not going to be releasing that carbon, is not going to be composted, and the methane is not going to get into the atmosphere.
She also suggested eating less meat, changing the kind of car you drive, taking public transportation, or shopping for secondhand clothes instead of buying new. Knox says the changes don't have to be expensive, they just require a little more thinking. After the break, I'll be back with your 5-day weather forecast.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie. So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
My Shiro doesn't always wear a cape, but she always has time for a hug, a smile, for going the extra mile. My Shiro stretches every dollar, puts in long hours, puts others first. But now it's your time, Mom. When you're ready to retire, we want you to be able to enjoy it. It's time to start saving now. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Welcome back to your 5-day forecast. This evening we'll be seeing a few clouds with a low of 47, but warm weather fans will be excited to see that on Thursday we have sunny skies with a high of 81 and a low of 56. On Friday, you might want to switch your thermostat to AC because we'll have a high of 85 and a low of 65. The warm weather will continue into the weekend with highs at 78 and lows in the 50s. You'll likely see some rain Saturday morning as well as Sunday evening, but between then, there'll be plenty of time to get out and enjoy the warm weather. Actually, Jules, are there any fun sporting events we might be able to catch this weekend?
Olivia, there is a lot going on in sports this weekend. Here in Athens, we have the women's tennis team serving up against Tennessee at 5 p.m. Friday. Also on Friday, the UGA softball team will play Missouri State at Turner Football Stadium. The game will start at 6:30 p.m. And Friday marks the beginning of the SEC Equestrian Championships. The number 3 seeded Bulldogs will face number 2 Texas A&M in the semifinal on Friday to determine who will advance to the championship round on Saturday. And while it isn't here in Athens, the trek to Blythewood, South Carolina isn't too far. After the break, 2 teammates go head-to-head in a baseball game that will go down in history.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
You're home before sunrise, on top of the house, the kids, and our future. The smell of your cooking is our alarm clock. My Shiro's day is never done. So let's start saving a little more now so we can feel prepared for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give us the personalized tips we need so we can live our lives to the fullest. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She carried 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. Alright, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Current teammates Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout faced each other in the final at-bat during the World Baseball Classic tournament last night. Japan ultimately won 3-2, taking away their 3rd WBC championship title. After the game, Ohtani was named the WBC MVP. In other baseball news, the Georgia Bulldogs went to bat against Georgia State last night, where they won 8-3. Last night also marked the final round of the men's golf Linger Longer Invitational, where the Bulldogs finished 5th. And tonight, UGA's softball team will return to the Jack Turner Stadium to begin their 8-day homestand. You can catch their game against the Kennesaw State Owls at 7 p.m. Also tonight, men's swimming and diving heads to the 2023 NCAA Men's Swimming and Diving Championships. It's Women's History Month, and the UGA women's golf team will tee off at the 50th annual Liz Murphy Collegiate Classic on Friday. The tournament is meant to honor Murphy and her time as a trailblazer for women's sports at UGA. I spoke with Katarina Don, a player on the women's golf team, about the upcoming tournament and what being a woman in sports means to her.
Play to compete against the boys, you compete against yourself to show yourself how good you are, and it's not about other people. It is more about yourself and not comparing yourself to men's and what they did. So I think, to me, being a woman in sport is exceeding my own limits and try to grow the sports for the next generations, and to allow everybody access to sports, because I think sports is a way to unite people.
Dawn says the golf team will honor Murphy the best they can in their tournament this weekend. That's all for sports today. From Grady Newsource, I am Juliana Washburn.
We're going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Hey, why does my face look like that? I'm playing with these new face filters. Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine. I'm gonna need that back. No. Kevin!
Welcome back. This weekend marks another rodeo happening in Athens. Grady Newsource reporter Rachel Branning has all the details.
One of the largest rodeos in Georgia and the largest student-run rodeo in the nation is taking place in Athens this weekend.
All the things that you think of real cowboy rodeo western, the lassos, the livestock, it's going to be a whole production, and we're super excited.
Tomorrow through Saturday, the Great Southland Stampede is at the UGA Livestock Instructional Arena, hosted by the UGA Block and Bridle Club.
We're going to interact with about 8,000 people. It's a huge event. It's a huge fundraiser for our club. It helps us be able to go back and host events for our community, to be able to put on these livestock shows for the youth members in the area, and then just to be able to keep our club running and host the rodeo for next year and grow bigger and bigger every year.
The rodeo features a special events rodeo for elementary school children, as well as a pink out night to raise money for breast cancer awareness. Tickets are sold out for the 48th annual rodeo, but one UGA student has been to the rodeo before and made sure to get his ticket early.
I'm excited for the rest of the community to really get in touch with all the great things that Block and Bridle and the Ag School put on, and I'm excited for this weekend. And they do such a great job of trying to connect the community. This year and in years past, they've made donations to philanthropic organizations. I think the thing that keeps me coming back is that connection between community and agriculture that is represented very well by the rodeo.
Rachel Branning, Grady Newsource.
Thank you for joining us. That's all for tonight.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
You're home before sunrise. On top of the house, the kids, and our future. The smell of your cooking is our alarm clock. My Shiro's day is never done. So let's start saving a little more now so we can feel prepared for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give us the personalized tips we need so we can live our lives to the fullest. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving.
Of course I have.
Go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight, both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand, trying to text somebody back, because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Oh, great show. Destiny, great show. I've been picking on Destiny for like the last 2 weeks since I knew I was going to be doing this, and she was going to be my anchor because Destiny typically reads at like 75 words a minute, and so I'm super duper proud of your work there. Thank you to the whole production crew back there. I'm hoping Cassidy will come out and actually SPM so I don't have to tap dance for longer. But Connor, I love the power move of cutting stand-up for the pre-show tease. Loved that because at that point it couldn't be cut. Loved it. That was fun, and it actually made it for a better tease. Talking about the tease, your B-roll footage for the teases, you're not going to give us too much. What we ran into, and if you go back and look on the rodeo package, we slowed it down, like in the TriCaster, so the cars are just like creeping by. So give us a little bit more on those in the future. Great job making the best out of a bad day. You almost struck out, you swung and missed, and then you fouled one off, and you finally got a good package in there. One of the things that I noticed today, because obviously it's in a different perspective, is I talked Monday about our live elements causing us to go long. Another thing that I picked up on today is McGregor was slotting people at decent time, so minute 30, 45, whatever, and then the package would come in at a minute and 30, and then the lead. So then you're at this weird, now it's a minute 54, or the package, you were slotted for a minute and 30, and then your package came in at a minute and 54, and then you add the other. So that makes it a little bit more difficult on the producer, and once you're in that spot, you'll see that. So keep that in mind. Thank you to Michael Doty for kind of stepping in as the engineer. Package audio, still up here and down here. Whatever you record in there is super loud. Whatever you record outside of the building is super low. Snap. Who was Snap? Maddie. With someone with a mask, don't be afraid to pull that mic up higher. I know our typical point is here. Pull it up a little bit higher because you've got to get through the fabric of that mask. That was a thing there. Allie, level your tripod. Like when you came on, I was like, okay. So level your tripod there. Package jump cuts are still a situation, My personal rule when I was shooting packages, for every person I interview, I try to get 20 clips of B-roll, of quality B-roll. That will eliminate those jump cuts, because if you're interviewing somebody and they answer, in that last package, I think the guy answered like 2 questions, but you could tell it was cut. And so he's doing this jump thing. But if you cover that with B-roll, you could cover 2 or 3 jump cuts with a piece of B-roll. depending on how long the answer is. Zoom, when you're Zooming with someone, pin them, make them full screen. Okay. For yours, and I saw it several times, not just today, it caught me. It's kind of the same reason we don't have two people sitting at the desk and one person talking and showing two, because the other person that's not engaged, right? There's no way to look good for 20 or 30 seconds of doing nothing. And then, and this goes for everybody with Destiny today, as you guys are planning those Q&A pieces and interactive pieces, think of your out. Like, you didn't have a plan on how am I going to get out of this interview. And I didn't hand out mics earlier, so I'm going to do that in just a minute. You didn't think about how you're going to get out of your interview, so it just kind of stopped. And then, you had another clip to read and that kind of stuff. So I'm going to turn it over to McGregor to talk about his experience as producer. And then, Rachel, I'm just going to give you this because you're the closest person.
Yeah, it went really well. Thank you to all you guys. You made my job pretty easy for the most part, getting all your packages in, having good stories ready, being organized and prepared for all your packages. And if it fell through, it was a good job working together and pivoting. And thank you for everyone that did extra work. I know Olivia W. wrote a reader for us for the Liza Berg thing. Hannah prepped a Q&A and a full package for a Sojo story, which I know is a lot. Yeah, everyone did a great job. I wasn't very stressed very much at the very end, get a few packages in. But other than that, I thought it went really smooth. And sorry, Owen, we had to cut yours at the end. But other than that, everyone's package got in, all the stories were told, and I thought they were all really good stories, very diversified and fun. So I had a good time with it.
And I was talking to Olivia G, not W, before the show. And while we always want your stuff in early, that's kind of the fun, is that right before we go live, that little bit of adrenaline. I'm not going to lie to you, is kind of the fun of doing the live stuff. Destiny, I guess I should have handed it to you. Let's hear your thoughts on being in that spot. I know that was that your first time in that position for as long? I know you've done some spots, but your first time truly anchoring.
Yes, that was my first time truly anchoring, and I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed being able to talk for at least an hour today, so that was fun. I'll admit that when the cameras started rolling, when it was like 3, 2, 1, I started sweating bullets, but at the point my heart was beating so fast, but I'm like, I have to go in here and prove to Tom that I can go in here and do this and not talk fast. But, and I also forgot my water when I was down there, so my throat got so dry when I was in there that I wanted to cry close to the end because my mouth could not take anymore. I'm like, please, just come on show so I can go drink my water. That's all I was thinking about for the last half of the show. But I really did enjoy it, though.
Excellent. Olivia W., how was your experience there with the introduction piece for your package and then the break? How did that feel?
That was good. I enjoyed it. I think, sorry, I'm just blanking today. I liked being able to do two things with weather, and I think weather is an interesting position because there's a lot going on with environment and weather and stuff. And I tried to do a little, well, I technically just memorized what I wrote, but I tried not to read off the prompter for weather, and that was
And you did a good job, and we for those who haven't done weather and sports yet, one of the things that Olivia and Jules and I worked on was how you do the screen thing, because your natural reaction is you're this hand model. You're like, here is 86 degrees. Well, visually, that looks weird because you're trying to trick your viewers into thinking that's real behind you. So literally the answer is simple. You just turn your hand over. So you're, and I showed Jules, I was like, so there was a piece of fabric on the cloth. And I said, show that to me. And she went, I was like, that doesn't feel good, does it? She goes, no, you would just do this. So same thing. And the other thing that we worked on was not turning your back, because you want to kind of feel, if you're over here and then you turn around and do this so you don't turn your back.
Yeah, I definitely recommend practicing with Tom because that was very helpful.
Good. And Jules, new baseball fan. We've converted you. If not baseball, at least Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, so if you were anywhere near me today, you know I didn't know a thing about sports starting. So it was fun learning, and yes, I do love baseball now.
She's a new Angels fan.
I'm not. So it was so fun learning everything, and I really appreciate all of Tom's help with my top story being the baseball game last night. That was huge, and So I got to talk about it, and then I just learned a lot. The Georgia Dogs website just really, really was awesome. But the one thing I wanted to do was the Women's History Month. That's something I was really excited about, and I'm really glad I got to do it and interview a golf player. So my best advice, as someone who didn't know anything coming in, is just find your place in it. So Tom helped me relate it to soccer because I was a soccer player. That helped me understand the importance of the baseball game last night. And then also Women's History Month is important to me. And that I was able to relate it to sports in that way, so that helped me connect to the news I was telling and relate it to the audience in a way that they would care too, hopefully. So yeah, that's my advice. It was fun.
And one thing that Jules did a good job of was using MGN, especially on the World Baseball thing, because if it's something that magnitude, they're going to have something, and then it's something that you can use, and it looped, and it looked good throughout.
Yeah, like MGN has a lot of stuff. Like, they really do have some cool stuff, so I liked that.
Cool. Who else has something? Anybody? Cooper, you got to do your upload and edit remotely. How was that?
So my second interview showed up almost 45 minutes late, so that time crunch stressed me out just a little bit. But and then I was like finally uploading it. I was in the tape parking deck, and I was like, okay, it's going. And then it just kind of like halted halfway, and I was too scared to like get up and move because I was like, what if it all just goes away and I don't get it in on time? So that was very stressful. Sorry if I gave you a heart attack, McGregor, but
McGregor was cool the whole time.
well, he was very good about just being calm with me and getting it in, so I really appreciated that.
Gotcha. And don't want to go without saying you guys did a great job across the board, checking in, communicating. Anytime I ask, hey, what's up with this? You guys either knew or lied to me. So I appreciate that. Anything else? Anything that we missed? Anything? Yes.
So the tilted stand up.
Yes.
So the area that I was in, there were quite a few people around that made me feel a little apprehensive about my, I don't want to say safety, but I felt like I was constantly like watching, like keeping my bag beside me, like the same people kept like walking around me.
Gotcha.
And one of them approached me, and he's already approached me one time previously, and so he recognized me again, and so I was like, I'm just going to film this, and I'm going to get out of here.
In a situation like that, just get out of there. And honestly, that is a place where, from the production side, we can punt. I never want you guys, and again, I'm not your professor, but I don't want you as a person to be uncomfortable. And the moment you felt uncomfortable, any of you, get out of there, because it's not worth it. If they had stole, it's not worth it. You can come back here and we can put you in front of a camera here in the newsroom and you can tease it up and we can go from there. But yeah, and thank you for sharing that. But anytime, get out of there. It's just not worth it. I saw an article yesterday about a news crew in San Francisco who was shooting a package about crime in San Francisco, and they got robbed. Stole all their gear. So if you feel uncomfortable, leave. I mean, that's completely justifiable, and I don't think that anyone here would have a problem with that. So, anybody else have any fun today? Any struggles? Hannah, mic there. Make sure you turn it on. Y'all are learning. We're getting the turning on the mics quickly. It's usually May.
Oh my goodness. This Sojo story, it threw me in a fit. It seems like everything that could go wrong did go wrong. I tried my absolute hardest to get my third source. That never panned out. I got like 0 B-roll, and that's why most of it was pictures. I want to say the best advice is plan accordingly, I guess, but at the same time, sometimes life just throws you curveballs.
Yeah, and when you're doing this, there are going to be those times where Allie struck out twice today, 3 times I think, and you just do what you can and get a package in there, even if the tripod's crooked.
I mean,
but yeah, that is definitely good advice to there may come a time where if you're not sure on that third, go ahead and work a fourth, because worst case scenario, you have 4 people and you have to decide how to make that work. The package wasn't like egregious to me, so I didn't catch it, but I also wasn't looking at that level. So
I know my philosophy for the day for this package, and I guess something that we can all carry is sometimes you have to do your best with what you're given.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
all
That's the case in all. I mean, all of it. I mean, you're just gonna do your best. Cool. Anybody else? Don't tell V. Show's over. Y'all have a great day.
Woo!